Hello guys, welcome back to the channel of this academy, ROLG Academy. And today we have something really important. If you want to speak English fluently or confidently in a real life situation, this video is for you. Here, I'm going to give you some tips, some practical tips for this kind of situation in which you feel embarrassed. I am Rafael Liendo, the teacher of this academy and even the owner of this channel. And today I will share 10 practical tips that can help you a lot in those kind of situations in real life. I know sometimes it's really difficult, it's really hard to speak in public, even when people are judging you by your pronunciation or your vocabulary and even the way in which you show them that you speak English. So stay there and let's go to the intro. Okay, and this is the first tips that I bring for you guys. Number one is a small conversation. This is really important to have a small conversation before having a real life situation. For example, most important is have a low pressure moments. For example, greetings, a few conversation of greetings, practice it by yourself at home, and then you put it in practice when you are in the real conversation. For example, hello, how are you? How's everything? I'm really good, thank you. Thank you for asking. Stuff like that can help you to handle these situations in a better way. Apart from that, you can even practice order a food. For example, imagine you're in a restaurant and you want to have an order, and you said, hey, can I get a pizza with a soda? It's a short example, but it can help you. Yeah. So now I challenge you to practice this kind of small conversations in your home, and then you put it in mind to use them in a real situation. So let's go with the second tips. This is the tip number 2. In these tips, is easier than the first one before, which is practice. Keep phrases and memorize them. It can help you a lot in a small talk or even for asking help in a real situation. For example, where can I find or where can I get the bus station? This is a question that can help you in that situation when you are moving to another place. Yes? Or you can even practice this kind of phrases like, sorry, can you repeat that again slowly, because I'm learning English and I'm a new English learner. Yeah, those kind of phrases can help you to take control of the situation or the conversation to understand it better. Yeah? And now the next tips is this. In these tips, which is the third one, you can have the opportunity to practice your English in places. This is the most important, places. These tips can help you a lot because when you go outdoor and you are in an uncomfortable situation, probably you're challenging yourself to force and express yourself and do your best. So this is hard. I know this is hard. So find places like restaurant, market, supermarket, barbershop, schools, classroom. Most important is that the place must be crowded. Full of people. Ya que llegamos a este punto, no olvides suscribirte, darle me gusta a este video, compartirlo con otras personas que quieran aprender el inglés y dominar este idioma. Y estos 10 tips son muy buenos para ellos, así como para ti. No te olvides de darle me gusta, compártelo y continuemos con los tips que están really good. When you are when people is around you and you feel the pressure of that, you have to do your best. This is the most important. And when you are there, when you're already there, you have to describe the situation. For example, imagine that you are watching people doing things or doing stuff. So you have to describe, for example, that woman is wearing a blue jacket and she is jumping because she saw an obstacle in the floor. Yeah, it is a kind of difficult or crazy example, but you have to practice your vocabulary in those situations. Okay, guys, now I have 2 tips that are really important, are really significant for today. Number 4 is don't be shy. Yeah, don't be shy, my friend. And let me tell you why. When you're shy, you lose the opportunity. You lose any opportunity that life is giving to you to speak or practice your English. Join the conversation. Don't lose your time. Don't waste your time. Join the conversation. Don't stay there like a stuck person without telling nothing. You know what I mean? Okay. Join the conversation, start like a listener at first, and then gradually speak and give your ideas, or take take the participation of giving your ideas or own explanation of whatever they're talking about. So this is the moment. This is the moment, friend. Take that moment as opportunity. Next tips is take your shoppings as a lesson. For example, imagine today you have to buy lots of vegetables in the supermarket, and then when you're in front of a person who is asking you for the money to pay the all those prices of those vegetables, so take the moment and say, oh well, I want to return this potato because I don't like it. It has some things, blood things inside of it, and I think it's bad. Use your basic words or basic vocabulary to talk. That's it, no more. This is the moment. Take the opportunity as a lesson, as a section of English. This is the most important. So let's go with the next one. Okay, other tips that is really important for you guys is use the technology. Don't be afraid of using, because it's a helper. It's something that give you many examples or new words to put them in practice. And it doesn't matter if people won't judge you if you find a word into a dictionary, or if you find an app in your cell phone and you find the translation, or if you search into internet to in order to have the good pronunciation of that word. That is great. That is normal. It is part of the life. Okay, next tips, which is number 7, is join a community. I think this is so important, because when you find a community where they practice English, or they are native from United States, native people, and they speak naturally and have the good resource or good tools and skills to help you in that language, I think it would be great for you. For example, I'm from Venezuela, and I have some academy that obviously I was teaching there as a teacher a long time ago. However, I have a good relationship with them, and sometimes I practice my English right there with students or teachers, and that help me or that make me be active in the language, you know. And now tip number 8 is accept your mistakes. When you accept your mistakes and that you are a new learner, that you are new in this culture shock, in this process of learning, you feel better and you lose the stress of your body, because sometimes learning a new language can be stressful or can be desperate. You can have a desperation to, you know, to become a better person in the language, or a better practice person that speak fluently most of the time. Sometimes it's stressful. Let me give you an example of myself. Let me tell you that I used to have some depressions, and even I used to feel very depressed and bad or sadly when I would speak with my friends, because I remember that was really difficult for me to have such a this kind of level that probably I have now. And for that reason, it was something traumatic for myself to catch this language as I think I have. So basically, I'm telling you that sometimes it's kind of difficult. It's kind of frustrating. I remember one moment of my life in which I used to practice my English before going to sleep, or even while I was sleeping. I mean, I was staying in the bed, on the bed, sorry. And I remember that during the day I learned some new words, and in the end of the day I sat down on the floor and I start creating phrases and created sentences or questions, and even questioning myself. You know, for example, let's suppose I'm learning the word lamp, and I said, do you have a lamp? Do I have a lamp? That lamp is really beautiful. That lamp lights a lot. Stuff like that. It's because it was the way to practice or increase or get better in this language. So apart from that, let me tell you that it's really hard. It's hard. So difficult sometimes to catch another language. And now we have the next tips, which is number 9, is about shadowing in public or shadowing at home. Let me give you the definition of this word shadowing. The shadowing is basically repeating phrases or words or conversation, or the whole conversation immediately after the speaker said or say it. So is the only way to increase your rhythm and even your intonation. And I think this is one of the best way to catch the good pronunciation or the native pronunciation of that country that you're learning, or that language from that country that you're learning. So I recommend you to find a good movie where you can practice your English by repeating, by doing shadowing at home, and you will see that you improve your English correctly. And really, it's a great way of practicing English. Okay, we arrived to the last tip that I brought for all of you guys, and this is kind of easy, because the only thing is tracking your progress. Track your progress in everything that you have done during the month or during the day or during the week, but set a goal, write a goal. So for example, say to yourself that you have to learn 30 words in a month. And when the month is finished, so you find all the words that you learned and try to test yourself if you already have them in your mind. Yeah, apart from that, you even can record yourself and try to put a list of video in a social media and say, this is my first video and then this is my last video in the social media where I uploaded. And you can even see if you improve your vocabulary or your fluency. Yeah, well, in conclusion, let me tell you that those were all the 10 tips that I have brought for all of you guys. I hope that you can enjoy this video and I hope that you like it a lot. So I hope even that you can give us a comments below and tell us what or which tips you will try first. See you next time. Bye bye.